Hi, welcome to this video. We're going to be looking at how I got this bass, a 1960s Sears Tele bass, for $30 off the internet. The posting on OfferUp looked pretty vague, so the bass was listed as a 60s Japanese bass, and it looked pretty beat up. And right away you can tell that it wasn't really properly cared for. When somebody takes pictures of an instrument on the grass, it kind of shows how they really don't care for it. So I messaged the seller asking him if he knew if the bass worked. He said he didn't and that it needed a setup. So I asked him how much for the bass itself. He replied with $50, but no less. There was no way I was going to pay $50 for this. So I told him $30 was my offer, and he agreed. And this is how I got the bass. The fretboard had been converted to a fretless, and whoever did this job had pretty much just smeared a bunch of epoxy or glue or whatever all over the fretboard and the neck. The body was in good condition, just had a few dings. It did, however, have all the original parts except the bridge cover and the pickup cover and the thumb rest. Before I even started doing any work on it, I wanted to plug it in and see if it would even work, especially given the condition it was in. Well, it works, so now time to clean it up. One thing I don't understand about this bass is why the top strap button is in the inner part of the horn. That makes absolutely no sense. So the pickups and the controls all worked, which was a great relief. The only thing I noticed was that the switch was completely unsalvageable, so I ended up replacing the switch. I covered all the dings around the body with clear glue so that the paint wouldn't keep on chipping or tearing away. So at least the dings are in place now. And again, I don't really want to work on guitars in my room anymore, so I don't have any of the tools necessary to do a project this size. So my intention here was to clean it up the best I could, and I would take it to a shop to have the fretboard re-leveled and straightened out. Even this was a lot to do in my room because it's messy. It was really messy. The pickguard itself was completely crusted with dirt and glue and who knows what else, but that cleaned up rather well. So when I used to work at Taylor Guitars, we used to have these metal blades we used to scrape binding, and I learned this trick there to pick up your blade and bend it ever so slightly to create a sort of edge to scrape whatever you needed to scrape off of the guitar. So I started doing that on this guitar, or on this bass, to do just all the little spots where there was either glue or just whatever the hell was on it that shouldn't be on it. And this was particularly messy as well. And in between that time, I got all the parts that were going to stay on this bass, and I cleaned them up to try to restore some of that chrome back in all these pieces. So after scraping the body and cleaning up the body as best as I could, I went to work on the sides of the neck. So I was gonna clean up the edges as best as I could. And even though it wasn't the best work possible, it did clean up really well. The top of the fretboard was still a complete mess. So I ended up taking it to a shop. So here is how the bass looks now. I wasn't able to get the pickup cover, the bridge cover, or the thumb rest because finding the stock parts is impossible. I could probably get the Fender equivalent of these, but as of now, this is how the bass looks. And there you have it. That's all the amount of work that it took to get this $30 base back up and running. I've never seen one of these out in the wild aside from that video I just did. Alright, well thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, then cool. If you didn't, then go make your own video. I'll see you next time with another worthless video that will probably not be watched by anyone because... Oh, actually, stop.